Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our The Agenda Forum here at the Tribute Hotel. And I'm your host, Fred Mison. Dito lang po sa ating programang The Agenda brought to you by Impact Publishing in cooperation with EFG Consulting. For every contribution that every government worker pays as part of the contribution to the GSIS lies the trust of the Filipino people. It is that trust that our nation's funds are used wisely, safeguarded, invested properly, and made to work for every Filipino. Joining us for today's episode is no less an expert, I would say, a reputable person in the banking industry. He is the President and General Manager of the Government Service Insurance System, who will shed light and tell us more about what GSIS does for our country and for our public servants. So allow me and join me in welcoming our guest for today, President and General Manager Wick Veloso. Sir, good morning.
Magandang umaga, Commissioner Fred. Alam po ninyo, itong si Commissioner Fred ay natutuwa ko, nakikita dito sapagkat nung una kitang nakita, meron kang opisina sa likod ng Pasig River.
Tama ka dun, sir.
Oh, sabi ko, napakagandang opisina nito. Ngunit baka kailangan lang talagang magkaroon ng konting kaayusan na yung area na yun. Napakaganda ng area na yun, ha?
Yes, sir. And now, I think the Bureau already will be transferring to the new home somewhere in Diokno Boulevard.
Ba?
So natayo na yung building doon, nagkaroon na po ng inauguration, and I think the Bureau will be holding office there by end of this year.
And then the next time I saw you, you were with Philippine Airlines.
Yes.
Akala ko nagpiloto ka eh.
Hindi. Tagatulak lang ako ng eroplano, sir, pag tumitirek.
I see.
But with that, sir, unahin ako na yung pinaka mabigat na tanong. Bakit weak?
Alam mo, pag ako tinatanong bakit weak, kahit ako nagtataka, ngunit tinapat ko ang nanay ko, bakit ba weak ang naging nickname ko? Ang sabi niya sa akin, nung bata daw ako, malikot at takbo ng takbo. Tinuturuan ako maglagay, quick. At ayun, naging weak. Naging weak. Kaya alam mo kung ano yung estado kung saan kita nakilala. Pag wiwik ang tawag mo sa akin, bata-bata pa ako noon. Nung ako'y sa kolehiyo na, high school pala at kolehiyo, weak na. Kaya pagka tinawag mo ako wiwik, alam ko elementary tayo nagkatagpo. Pagka weak na, alam ko high school na tayo pataas, nagkaroon ng pagkakatagpo.
And would you say PGM weak in the GSIS and the other banks and organizations you have been with, weak ang tawag po sa inyo?
Weak. Jose Arnulfo is my real name.
Yes.
Naalala ko, pagkatawag sa akin, Jose Arnulfo, nawawala yung mga papeles noon. Kaya ang ginawa ko, pati na rin sa business card ko, nilagay ko na yung weak. Kasi hindi nila alam, ikaw pala si Jose Arnulfo. Yes, I'm Jose Arnulfo. And then some of them get to ask me, probably it will be a lot better. We just place in your business card week because we always get confused. We always try to look for it.
Okay, so PGM weak. I don't think much of our listeners would know your background. So what I know is magaling ka sa numero. Akong abogado, mahina sa numero. So you have to bear with me with these questions about numbers. You know, sa ating mga listeners and viewers, PGM Week has been in the banking industry for more than 30 or even 40 years already. Malalaman yung age ni Sir Wick pag sabihin ko kung ilang years na siya sa industry ng finance and banking. He's been known with backgrounds in HSBC, PNB, and now he is with, I guess, the largest financial institution in government. Tama po ba yun, sir?
Well, I can probably share that it can be.
Can be. So let's go straight to our conversation today, Sir Wick, how does or what do you think is the criteria for the proper investment of government funds entrusted to the GSIS?
Criteria ng namamahala o criteria, can you expound on
A criteria in terms of protecting that or promoting the stability, and at the same time maximizing that investment income at the same time.
Okay. Alam mo, pagka nandito ka sa ganitong klaseng trabaho, you take care of the contributions of government employees, and then you make sure that it gets invested properly. You make sure that the principal is safe. Okay? Lalagay mo sa investment that you'll be secure. Titignan mo ngayon, ano naman kaya ang return?
Yes.
And we try to establish ano ba ang negosyong ito. Ito ba ay negosyo na meron silang distinct advantage? Ito ba negosyo na kakaunti lamang ang merong ganitong klaseng business model? And will customers continue to look for this, and therefore will it will grow? Tapos, of course, kailangan mo rin yung tinatawag na liquidity. Okay? So, all of these three you factor in when you get to decide in terms of investment.
And would you say, Sir Wick, na in your experience in the private sector, mas conservative pagdating sa public funds?
At dito, yan ang masasabi ko. We are more conservative. As a matter of fact, 72% po ng pondo ng ating mga empleyado ay nasa risk-free instruments. Ang ibig po niyan sabihin, makakatulog kayong mahimbing na yung principal po ninyo ay intact. 40% po ng mga investments na yan nasa government securities. 20% nasa loan ng ating mga members guaranteed by their retirement. And the balance is in real estate. Tapos meron tayong 19% in equities. Ito yung equities na tinatawag na investments sa stock market. Okay, sa Philippine Stock Exchange.
And that 19%, sir, that would be more or less the not so risk-free, ika nga. Ganun po ba yun?
Well, pagka sinabi mong nasa equities, yan ang tinatawag na meron kang volatility. At pag sinabi mong hindi naman technically risk-free, kasi you invest in a corporation. A corporation as a life. The corporation can make decisions that can be beneficial or detrimental to their existence. That is why you really have to do a lot of research on getting into these kind of investments. Tapos meron din tayo roughly 6.5%. Ito tinatawag na private equities. Yung tinatawag na private equity, merong fund manager based abroad.
Yes.
And then they invest in different businesses. Isang negosyo na to, railways. Isang negosyo na to, telecoms. Itong ano naman ito, ports. Or different infrastructure. At doon tayo nakafocus sa infrastruktura sapagkat nakita natin napakaganda ng returns when it comes to investments into this kind of businesses. At ang balance po, meron tayong roughly 4 to 5% in cash and near cash items. Yung pong sinasabing cash and near cash items, yan po yung tinatawag na literal. Anytime na mangailangan ka ng pera, meron kang tinatawag na liquidity. So we always maintain that buffer.
So, yung sinasabi po ninyo na parang cash and cash equivalents, ito sir yung lumalabas na risk-free because you know that the principal will always be reserved and available when needed.
Yes, sir. It is not only risk-free, but it is also available immediately once we need the liquidity.
And that is 28%, 72%.
5%, sir.
5%.
5%. Ang 72% are the risk-free investments.
Yes. And then, so kung 72%, sir, yung tinatawag nating risk-free, yung 28%, ito yung medyo meron konting risk. And again, pardon my limited understanding of investments, no? tama po ba yun, sir, that the greater the risk, the greater the reward? Tama po ba yun?
Ang equities po, ganyan po ang sistema ng equities. Ang equity kasi nag-i-invest ka sa negosyo. Halimbawa, gusto mo bang mag-invest sa isang kapihan? Pwede kang gumawa ng negosyo. Pwede kang maghanap ng lugar, magrenta, umupa, pwede kang bumili ng coffee machine, pwede kang mag-employ ng tao at gagawa ka ngayon ng marketing plan so the rest of the neighbors will know about your coffee. Yan po tinatawag na nagne-negosyo, entrepreneur. O pwede kang mag-invest sa isang listed coffee corporation. And kung ano yung benepisyo ng negosyo, makukuha mo. Alam mo naman, ikaw negosyante, pag umakyat ang presyo ng gasolina, umakyat ngayon ang cost of transporting coffee, lilit ang margin mo. Pag lumit ang margin mo, mas kaunti ang kita mo. Pag mas kaunti ang kita mo, magre-reflect yan sa income mo. Magre-reflect ngayon yan sa share price mo. Pag naman napakaganda naman ang bentahan at na-reduce mo yung cost mo, abay, aakyat din naman ang net income mo, aakyat ang share price mo. Kaya yan tinatawag na volatile kasi merong mga economic cycles. Ang economic cycles will give the share price a direction also of where it is headed. So, yan ang nagiging diferensya ng volatile. Yung isa, pagka sinabi mong risk-free. Kaya nga pa sinasabi ko sa ating mga miyembro, tayo po umiikot sa ating mga kasamahan sa gobyerno, nakikipag-usap tayo, other teachers, groups, other government employees, our union members, we share with them. Paano natin dinidistribute. So, rest assured, napakalaki po ng ating investment dun sa risk-free.
Sir Wick, only up to the extent that you can share freely, no?
Yes.
What are some of these major investment programs na sinasabi natin doon sa private equity or doon sa mga investments na ginagawa ng GSIS that you have perhaps been responsible for or you have seen and how it is being managed?
Okay. Yung kanina, nabanggit ko na yung mga ating risk-free investments. Binanggit ko, 40% of that, government securities. Okay? So, meron na naman tayong tinatawag na loans to members. So, guaranteed yan, secured yan by their retirement. Uulitin ko lang, just for the rest to be familiar, balance yan as the real estate, so 72%. Yung 19% ngayon yung nandoon sa equities. Aba, pagka tayo naglalagay tayo sa equities, ina-align din natin sa programa ng gobyerno. May 4 Ps ang gobyerno. Meron tayong pagkain. Meron tayong power. Okay? Meron po tayong tinatawag na edukasyon. At meron din po tayong tinatawag po na ano ba itong isang pipa natin? Pagkain. Food security. Yun po ang ating tinitingnan kung meron ba tayong makakapag-invest na naka-align po doon. Because otherwise, pagka hindi naman po available meron doon, tinitingnan mo, ano bang trend ng market? What is happening to the market? Where is the market headed? And then you take a look at where the potential investments are. Katulad halimbawa, alam mo, cost of power in the Philippines is very expensive. When I was in HSBC, I was part of a team that was tasked to more or less speak to those that can go and transfer to the Philippines at mag-locate dito. Okay? Ang objective kasi ho ng ating pamahalaan, paano ba makakadagdag ng foreign investor? Ang unang kasagutan ba naman sa atin ay, what is the cost of power? At sasabihin nila, naku, pagkadating po sa Vietnam, kalahati ang cost ng kuryente. So sila, syempre ikaw, negosyante ka. Kung lilipat mo yung factory mo sa Pilipinas, sisiguraduhin mo, ako ba kikita? At pag nalaman mo, mataas ang presyo ng kuryente, naku, wag na. Pati nga ho yung mga ibang, yung data center. Kaya nga ho, pag nakikipag-ugnayan, nagkwekwento sa akin yung gusto magpagawa ng data center dito sa atin. Yun pong data center, lahat ho kayo may mobile phone. Lahat ho kayo nagso-social media. Lahat po ng mga datos po ninyo, pagkalabas ng telepono ninyo, pumupunta po yan dun sa social media provider ninyo. Yung social media provider ninyo, nagtatago yan ng kanyang datos doon sa data center. Yan po ang ibig sabihin niyan. Kaya po, napakalaking negosyo ng mga data center. Ngayon gusto po nila lumipat dito sa Pilipinas para magkaroon tayo ng data center dito. Sinasabi nila, napakamahal ng kuryente. Sabi niya, data center ang negosyo ko, pero ang una kong gagawin dito, paggawa ng power plant. Kasi kung ako bibili ng kuryente sa labas, mas mahal. Baka mas mura magpagawa ko ng power plant. Ngayon po, pag sinabing pagkain, abay, di naman po tayo makapag-invest diretso sa mga nagtatanim. Pero naghahanap po tayo ng mga tinatawag po nating cold storage facilities. Kasi alam mo, pag ako'y nakakaparinig kung wastage doon po sa ating mga farmers o yung aquaculture produce. At gusto ko nga ma-establish kung tama nga ba talaga yung datos na alam mo ba, the Philippines is an archipelago composed of 7,100 islands when I was young. As I continue to hear now, it's now 7,300 islands. And coastal towns, yung yung nakukuha na harvest, na sasayang daw ho kasi hindi naman nila mapatuyo para maging daing. Kulang na sa espasyo. Hindi naman nila po mailagay sa cold storage sapagkat mahal ang kuryente at wala rin cold storage. So, nasasayang. So, sabi namin, paano kaya natin masusolusyonan yan at matulungan? Mayroon ba tayong pwede malagukan ng pera na naroroon ng kanilang mga negosyo?